Can we bring it back centrally? I hate to stop a good and free-flowing conversation, but maybe it's good before we move on to the next part of the afternoon. Maybe every table, 2 or 3 people can share something about something that struck them, something that they were impressed by, or maybe something even that they will be taking back to their companies. Can I start here? Someone who is willing to share what they've experienced during the tryout? Just briefly.
Do you want me to say what we discussed and then you can say what you learned? So maybe I stand up. What we discussed here was about how do we design a product, not specifically this one, how do we design a product to be able to remanufacture it, for example, at the end of the life. So for example, for remanufacturing, modularity is really important. The sort of material that we use is really important. If you want to separate part like 10 times for remanufacturing or screw back them together, if it's the material is not right, it's going to be worn out, then you have to change it. So selection of material is also really important. Ease of accessibility to different parts. For example, for this product, the electronic part is really important. But as you can see, I tried to reach the electronic part. I couldn't because it was not a good design for remanufacturing or get access to the components here. So how do we design a product to get access to the components that is a core part of the product? We talk about the documentation and information for the companies who do the remanufacturing, because not all the time remanufacturing is happening by the original manufacturer. So sometimes the customer want to do the repair. This is will go to the repair as well. So how do we make sure that all the information is available for the customers or for the other ones, for everyone that they want to do the remanufacturing? How do they do the remanufacturing? How do they open? How do they disassemble? How do they assemble back it together? So these were the short stories that what we discussed here.
Okay. What about the group? Is there anything that impressed you or that you will be taking back?
I think it was really interesting to hear, because I used to work as a designer a long time ago, and then we had something called Design for X. Then that was design for assembly, design for manufacturing, design for recycling, but then design for remanufacturing is really one more thing that you have to think of, and that was quite interesting actually.
Something else from the group? Something that inspired you?
I think also, that you have to consider how to bring the information to the end user, so that they know what to do if they want to not using the product anymore. So help them, what's the next step to dispose of it or send it back or
As I said, I work with startups, and this session has taught me a lot about the complexity of this planning process when you're designing new products. Because we are practicing some of the things we discussed, but it can be so broad and complex, this situation, that it's more difficult than you think about this in the daily work.
Great. Those are all great comments. Thank you so much. How about the next table? Just Maria, what you did and then.
So we had a very particular case, as was presented before, but also a very particular solution. That many, when they saw, started already rethinking the solution that was provided. And I said, this is the table of Sasha, or another table, because here is basically the idea to show how a particular solution can be screened in the tool, and then with the help of key performance indicators identified whether it's more sustainable than the solution that is currently implemented or the other linear solution. So we've gone through the procedure of identifying where the case or the solutions were placed in the circular scanner, and then trying to see what business processes were affected, and we realized that basically the whole supply chain or the whole value chain is affected, and how it actually leads us to the set of indicators that actually later can be calculated and used for the comparison of different options. Yeah?
So, responses from the group?
I can say something. I think it was very interesting to see because the case we were given, they were putting a lot of emphasis on marine plastics. And in this, with looking at the KPI performances, it was actually going to be the cost of getting those materials would be higher, and then the energy use would also be higher. And so in the end, it looks like maybe they should not, like they can do recycled plastics, but not necessarily marine plastics, because there's a lot of costs related to just it having to be marine. But then it could be if they did the scan again with just recycled plastic, they would get another KPI that would show that it would be cheaper or a better solution. So it's really interesting to see how the circular solution might not always be better than the current, like maybe environmentally, but sustainably from a business perspective it could be more difficult or not.
So maybe you should be looking at another circular strategy instead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
And we also see the danger that you already have decided what you want to fix.
Yeah.
And who do you put together to fix that compared to what we could have joined or have new ideas to this product. And I think it's very, very important if you want to make a new product that you actually broaden the perspective and see what can we actually do the whole value chain. And this also sorts out a good structure. See.
Thank you so much. Last table?
Yes, I'll borrow this one. And as Inga also holds them. So in this workshop we focused on the IT part of circular economy, and in particular on 3 different levels of data analysis and maturity of them. And we looked at basically what data within the toothbrush do we need in order to fulfill a particular purpose. If we want to, at the lowest level for instance, want to have overview of the use of toothbrushes, we might only need on or off information, etc. about the toothbrush. And then if we want to move one up level in the maturity, look at the diagnosis and discovery, we figured out that maybe we need some more data. We both need the use data, but we also need some more information about the temperature and the pressure that you're using. Maybe you dropped it to the floor. This is all information we need to determine the condition of the toothbrush. And then the final level of maturity and the end goal to try to predict when it might fail. And some really interesting thoughts here from one of the groups was also we have data here that might be relevant to the dentist, and also depending on what type of food we eat. If one is only eating yogurt, another like crackers and granola, it might require more strain for the one depending on their nutrition as well. So some really interesting thoughts and ideation based on this. And we were in 3 different groups, so this was our lessons, and anybody wants to share?
Anything you were inspired by or that you'll be taking back as an insight?
I like the structure of it because it made sense at the end why we were building it in this order. So kind of, I think the understanding of the data and how the complexity grows is good in this model. Something that I want to use again at least.